There we go.
Okay, we are back. We're back here with Pastor Craig Mitchell. Pastor Mitchell.
Good day to you. Good day to
Good
you.
to see you,
Good
sir.
to see you
Yes,
again
yes,
as well.
yes. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
You know, I'm Craig Mitchell, born and raised in this area. An educator for 16 years, going into year 17. Also a pastor in this area. Been pastoring for 4 years now.
Okay,
Supernatural Faith Center here in Salisbury, Maryland.
okay. Now, you said you are a teacher.
Yes.
Aren't you also something else with the teachers?
Oh, yes. I'm the vice president of the local teachers union, Wacomico County
Okay.
Educators Association. Yes.
Awesome. So you're involved.
I am involved. Yes.
Awesome. So the way that you and I got to meet was a prayer vigil during a tragic time that
Yes.
happened here. You want to talk a little bit about that prayer vigil?
Yeah, absolutely. So, my church that I pastor, we would frequently have outdoor gatherings, outdoor services downtown Salisbury at the amphitheater. And but however, about a year ago, things hit close to home. There was a young man, age 10, that attended our church frequently. Was prematurely, his life was taken by gun violence. And so that really, definitely everyone close to him definitely took a toll on us, as well as the community. Very tragic incident that really was the piece that really birthed the idea of a prayer vigil. People were constantly, asking. I could be in Sam's Club or somewhere, and they would just be like, "Oh, did you hear about what's happening with the young man? And what are we gonna do? I don't hear anybody saying anything. I don't hear anybody doing anything. No balloon release, or how the typical things that we normally do." And so, I just, when it came to ministry aspect, I like to sometimes stay in my shell and just be
Observe a little bit, yeah.
just observe. But it just kept weighing on me because of the connection that I had. So I finally, was definitely led by the Lord to have that prayer vigil and wanted to bring the community together. In fact, that particular week, that young man wasn't the only child that lost their lives. So a lot of things were happening that week. So the city of Salisbury was definitely in pain. They were definitely grieving. So they needed a time of community to come together that give that support and say, hey, we may not understand exactly what you're going through. We're not in your shoes, but we know what to do. We can offer some things to you to help you get through. And so that's how we all met.
Now, how did you get so many? Because there was a lot of people there.
It was.
How did you get that many people together so quickly?
It was. It was amazing. It was very amazing, eyebrow raising, moment for me, because I didn't expect, that turnout as it was. All I just know is the moment I hit the send button on my social media page, people begin to share it. At that particular time, the city of Salisbury officials were just, hey, we want to know when you want to do this, and send me the flyer and we'll share it. So they shared it, and so everybody just began to share it and get a whiff of it, and they began to come out, and it was a tremendous outpouring.
Absolutely. It was a good feeling. There was a lot of different churches from a lot of different areas out there, but everybody came together in one mind, one accord, and if you know the Bible, there's power in that.
Yes, it is. Absolutely, yes. And that's what needs to be seen more. Unity.
Yes.
We're seeing a lot of divisiveness, and when unfortunately we are seeing division associated a lot, especially in the political arena.
Are we?
And there's a lot of healing that needs to take place holistically in so many facets. And so unity is where it's at, you know. And what I liked about that prayer vigil is that those that were in attendance were, you know, different genders, ethnicities,
Oh yes, backgrounds,
different
everything.
denominations.
Sure.
You know, everybody know although we knew everybody's political party, that didn't none of that mattered. It just took that tragedy to say, hey, we feel your pain, and we're setting this aside and we're coming out.
Now, and that was the plus side. Now, I don't want to put the negative light on things, but it seemed like the hype around it was, let's do this again. But then as soon as you try to plan it the second time,
Oh yes,
opposition.
yes, there was much opposition. And in fact, at this moment of this taping, you know, there's still, you know, opposition, you know. And for me, because I'm only used to the ministry arena and of course the educational aspect, you know, arena, but I've got to see in the planning and strategies so many, you know, parties and ideologies and all of those things. And everybody, you know, after that first, you know, let's go, let's do it, when's the next one? But after that first one, the city of Salisbury began to duck my calls.
Oh, wow.
Just the systems, you can tell from an outsider looking in that there were systems in place are faulty.
Right.
Because you would get a hold of someone via phone call, and they would say, oh, we'll get back to you, it's in the email.
Right.
And so the systems were just, you know, you can just tell there's a lot of faultiness that needs to be repaired within the municipal government here in Salisbury.
Sure.
In addition to that aspect, just even some of the political parties, figures that represent the city that were out there that first one just disappeared.
Yeah.
You know, they stated that, oh yeah, just let us know when you want to do it, and you know, it was just a political response in that moment, but they really disappeared. As you know, the young people say, they ghosted us. You know,
Wow.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah,
It's
and
unfortunate.
then the additional obstacle was finances. They began to charge us. They wanted to charge us
For Unity Square.
for Unity Square. How does something that was intended to be for the community is now using profit to be the reason why people can't come together
Wow.
for a good cause? And
Absolutely.
so that's disheartening. You
Sure
know?
it is.
And so, my perspective is, if you're going to have something in place and you say it's for that particular reason, like if you say something is for the young people, you don't take it away from them.
No.
If you say Unity Square, it's called Unity Square, right? That's the way I see it. It's called Unity Square.
I agree.
But there's no unity, you know, in that. And so those have been the barriers. And then surprisingly, a lot of what we would call the upper echelon of faith-based leaders are not active. They would not,
Interesting.
you know, they would not be willing, open to, you know,
Open their doors.
open the doors, even when it's cold, to open the doors to their church and say, hey, the third Wednesday, you know, we got you. You can have it. You can have it here. And so
Wow.
those have been the barriers that I, you know, I can only speak. I'm
Sure.
called to speak the truth.
Sure. Yeah, and that's what we need.
I'm
we
called
need
to speak the truth. And so those are the obstacles in my press to do things in the community that I've had, and
Sure.
these are ongoing things.
And I remember, thank you, Pastor Mitchell. You actually reached out to me in the Bridging the Gap, and we actually went to the city council meeting, and we made comment about that. And when we did, the mayor, did come up to me afterwards and said, listen, we're going to be able to work something out. Let's just go ahead and do step 1, step 2, and then we'll work. So we're waiting to see what else can be moved, but I made sure that point was made, and I agree. There were a lot of political figures, and here was the unique thing. There were political figures, and we'll have another guest on in a few minutes. He can maybe shed a little light on that. But there were political figures that I know for a fact stood against Franklin Graham Cumming that were out there. You know, there were ones that were out there for the photo op. Let's just say it like that. You know, they were out there for the photo op, but they stand against even Christian belief. So my question is, was it a photo op for some? And maybe that's why we're having such a hard time doing it again.
Because when you see something that's drawing attention, unfortunately, everyone doesn't come out for the right reasons.
Right.
You know, some see it for, just
especially during political season.
If it's political season, you need re-election, you need some clout, publicity, all of that, and so, and that is the downside of that, Unfortunately, people will take a good thing and kind of like manipulate it,
Yes.
to fit, what they need to at that moment.
I can say this: we doing Praise in the Parks with my wife. She actually did this before we were actually married, so this has been something that God put on her heart way before. But as I've been doing Praise in the Parks with her, I remember the first time we actually linked up through Delegate Beecham, who got in touch with. At that point, we didn't have the relationship with the Mayor Taylor, but Mayor Taylor actually came out and he spoke to the homeless. He was new in office, and he was like, "Hey, I know there's an issue with homelessness, and I'm out here." The next time he helped us to get it set up and stuff. But like I said, I didn't feel like it was a photo op for him because he really didn't even want to come
genuine.
up. He didn't want to come up front. However, while we're out there, we mentioned that No Kings rally.
Right.
There were the same
With opportunity,
people.
there's opposition. So
Absolutely. And it seemed like the same. Actually, once elected right now, that was actually at the prayer vigil. She was part of the No Kings rally.
Right.
She was actually, that was the day she
Right.
declared her running for county executive, if I can remember. So my question is, if they're not genuine, then why say that they're going to back you? And then when you come back and say, hey, I want to get it done again. I mean, because again, this wasn't something for profit. The only profit was for the community to come together. Am I correct?
Right.
You didn't make no money off these
No,
prayer
I didn't
vigils.
make any money. In fact, I spent money out of my own pocket. That's because that's how serious I was.
yeah, that's how I was in the beginning. Also, a lot of the money came out of my pocket, and so that's why I was like, "Okay, Lord, you have to help me out here,
Right,
because there is no way." I'm like, "You want me to do this? I'm gonna need your provision right now." So that's when I started asking, which I don't like to ask anyone for anything, but it's like, look, this is for our community. Can you help me out here?
And the unique thing is, you're doing it for the homeless. You're doing it for the ones that are going through. These both are situations where there should be people wanting to give. I can say again, getting back to Eastern Shore Undercover, I remember the one we did, they gave blankets and
yes.
I think we
I
had
was
some
able
other
to go
people.
to their home and pick up blankets.
Yes, we had people from, there were some political figures. There wasn't many. But again, I mean, it remains to be seen. It remains to be seen. We're definitely going to work on getting this together. We're going to go ahead and take another break, and we're going to come back with our third guest. We're going to have who I like to call Mr. Community, Jermichael Mitchell. So stay tuned. We'll be right. Did you have anything else you wanted to add, by the way?
No, I'm good. I'm just glad to be on the platform. But
Yes,
we
thank you.
need the community. It's
Yes.
unity is in community. I'll lead that.
Yes. That's my saying too.
Yes.
But two or more.
Amen.
All right. We'll be right back.